You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. Our source today, maritime law expert Jay Batongbacal. Jay, thank you for your time. Let me start with this already. Alam na po natin yung balita. The Chinese Coast Guard used water cannons on Philippine boats that wanted to bring supply to the BRP Sierra Madre in Ayungin shoal. I guess my first question is, why? Why so brazen to do that to the Philippine crew or troops?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's pretty obvious, no? Namihasa na sila because they've been used to patrolling our waters, no, for the last 5 years, and they're continuing to do so today. And it's also consistent with their objective talaga, because from the beginning, no, they've always wanted the Philippines to leave Ayungin Shoal, no, and tow away the Sierra Madre. Tagal na pinag-iinitan yan. In 2013 to 2014. After the standoff sa Scarborough Shoal, Ayungin Shoal became the focus of their attention. Talagang pinag-initan nila with patrols and fishing and all of that, no? And they did try to blockade the supplies to Ayungin Shoal back then.
That's right.
No? So they're doing it again, no? Clearly, they want to prevent the Philippines from maintaining that outpost, no? And if they cannot interfere directly with, say, the Navy or Air Force, what they're trying to do now is to starve the outpost essentially, so that they will be the ones to voluntarily leave, no? And pag umalis na tayo, then that's the time that for sure papasukin nila yung shoal and they will take over.
Yeah, tanggal na naman yon. But that's the thing that I wanted to find out. In the many times that I'm sure they resupplied our troops over there in BRP Sierra Madre. I do remember what you said a couple of years ago, nagkaroon na po ng problema. Same thing. Pinigilan nila, and then now. But in between those times, there I'm sure have been resupplies, and I did not hear anything to this effect that this happened.
Yes, actually the last time that something like this happened was 2017. If you recall, si Congressman Alejano revealed it during one of those budget hearings, no? That the Chinese interfered with a resupply mission there. So it's actually, indeed it is surprising that it's happened again, no? So feeling ko is that the Chinese are really tightening the screws around Ayungin Shoal. They know that the ship, no, the BRP Sierra Madre, which is really almost a derelict now, even though it's a commission, no? Parang hinihintay talaga nilang gumuho yan. They're waiting it to crumble. And so any attempt on our part to try to even just maintain that vessel, they're trying to, they're preventing it, no? For now, parang they're just allowing it, they've been allowing food to get through to the troops. But they know that hindi magtatagal yung structure mismo na tinatayuan nila. So maybe that's why they're doing this. When they saw 2 vessels, maybe they're thinking, they're gonna try to construct something to support the structure of the vessel again. So maybe yan.
Ayaw nila, pipigilan nila yan.
It's hard to know din, no? Kasi nga, we don't have that much details about the incident. Okay. And in a way, well, we don't expect all the details din naman, because it might be going into sensitive matters na, no?
Okay, so it begs the question, what should the government do? SFA, Secretary Locsin already said he talked to his counterparts, to which China also answered. Ang sinabi pa, tayo nag-trespass. Okay, senators also condemning what happened, but what can be done? Okay. What else can be done?
Yes, syempre number one priority is to resupply the troops, no? That posting is one of the hardship posts dyan sa Calayan Island Group, and since it's really just sitting in the middle of the water, the troops really need those supplies, no? Pangalawa, kailangan din syempre mag-submit ng formal response dito sa sinabi ng Chinese ambassador claiming that it is Chinese waters, no? The South China Sea arbitration was very clear, at least with respect to the status of Ayungin Shoal. It is part of the Philippines' exclusive economic zone and continental shelf, and the Chinese therefore have no right to conduct any patrols or to even claim that it is part of their waters. No, what kind of waters? Again, hindi na naman nila sinasabi, so they're really obfuscating the issue na naman, no? There is no high tide elevation on Ayungin Shoal, so it's really only the Philippines that has any rights, no, in that area. And since it is our EEZ and continental shelf, it is the Philippines that can decide what happens to that area, who access it, who has access, who uses it, etc. That includes maintenance of the outpost, no, and resupplying it. China really has no right to interfere in that activity of the Philippines. Okay, and then I think this is also something that should be considered now, no, especially within the context of the code of conduct, that the two sides are always playing up, no. We've always been trying to show that we're sincerely trying to resolve our problems through the code of conduct negotiations, but a session was just finished a few weeks ago, and then this happens. This really marks, no, I think it's a really good indicator of the sincerity of the other side, no, with respect to the code of conduct negotiations. So I think the Philippines really should start reconsidering now what it should do with these negotiations, no, and try to get the other ASEAN members on board on that, no. Kasi the other ASEAN members, on the other hand, have also been experiencing pressure from China in different ways, like petroleum exploration. So these are all indicators of where the code of conduct negotiations really are going, no, pagdating sa well, on the ground, no. Yeah.
All right. We've run out of time. I wanted to ask you, if you could, just for 15 seconds, pwede bang ipasok dito yung Mutual Defense Treaty?
Well, yung Mutual Defense Treaty applies to any armed attack on public troops, Philippine troops, public ships or aircraft, no. So the fact that here there was no armed attack, no, because they were using water cannon is a technicality na which takes it out of the application of the MDT, I think, no. But that does not mean that China did not violate international law. They still did, no, because this is not, they have no right to do this to a Philippine vessel.
Professor Jay Batongbacal, sir, thank you so much for your time. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.